So, a very good morning to all the students who have assembled here. Sir, am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
Yes, sir. Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you. Okay, we are all of us are in a very unusual situation due to this corona pandemic. And okay, online classes are on and online examinations are happening everywhere, and we too are not exceptions to that. And we are going to have the phase of the RES examination for Pondicherry Engineering College students through online using Google Classroom platform, right? So just to familiarize you regarding how to handle or how do you take up the online examination and the related issues, we have two very renowned resource persons. One, Professor Sundaramurthy of E&I department of our college, and then Professor Harish Kumar of physics department of our college. Both of them are going to give you good amount of input towards how to join the Google Classroom, how to upload your answer scripts, and how do you ensure your scan quality of the answer scripts to be uploaded, and all related details. They are here to give you the details. So kindly listen carefully and then try to practice or put into use all this instructions while you are appearing for the online examinations. So wish you a very good luck for the forthcoming arrear examination who are taking up the arrear examination. With this few words, now I invite Professor R. Sundaramurthy of E&IE department to talk to you regarding how to join in a Google Classroom for taking up the exam and how do you upload your answer scripts in the Google Classroom. So now I invite Professor Sundaramurthy. Professor Sundaramurthy.
Thank you very much, Professor. A very warm welcome to all the student participants and the controller of examinations and the fellow panelist, Professor Harish Kumar. It is indeed a great pleasure for me to share some information pertaining to how to take an online examination in Google Classroom platform. As the controller of examinations rightly point out, we are indeed in a very critical situation of not able to conduct examinations in regular mode. So we are actually planning to conduct the examination in online mode for this arrear examinations using Google Classroom platform. So for the next 30 minutes, myself and Professor Harish Kumar would walk through the entire process of how would you log in your Google Classroom, how would you receive the question paper, how should you write the examination, and how would you convert that into a single PDF, and finally how would you upload that in the Google Classroom and complete the examination process. So I request all the participants to mute yourself for the next 20 minutes or so, and then you can unmute yourself when we open up the questions, and then we can have one-to-one discussion. So as of now, we have around 350 participants in the meeting room. So let us start our proceedings, and as and when candidates join, let them join this session. So I share my screen here. Hope all of you are able to see the slide.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Right. Conducting an online examination or taking an online examination is a coordinated activity where 50% of the job is done by the teacher on one side and the remaining 50% of the job has to be done by the student on the other side. So in this classroom, I would walk through the process of taking this online examination from a student's perspective and what are all the things that you have to keep in mind when you are taking this examination in online mode using Google Classroom platform. I request all of you to stop asking for sharing your contents because you have nothing to share. So let us be responsible and take this session in the right spirit. The very first thing that you should be doing as a student for taking part in this online examination is you should have a pec.edu email ID. I am sure that this particular information has been already shared to all of you, and I hope all of you have contacted the system administrator of our institute, Professor Selvaraju, and you are in the process of, and you have, in fact, by this time got your .pec.edu email ID. It is, in fact, acts as the hall ticket for you to take part in this examination process. In your regular examination, the way in which you take part in your examination process is you identify your examination venue, which is the examination hall, and then you go to that hall, present your hall ticket to the invigilator, gain entry into the examination hall, and then in the exact time interval, you would get the question paper. So this is the process in which we follow our regular examination. You identify first your examination room, and then you produce your hall ticket, and then in the exact time interval of your time instant of your examination, you will get your question paper delivered, and then you complete your examination. After the examination time is over, your answer scripts will be collected by the invigilator. This is the entire process. In the online mode, how are we going to replace this process? In the place of original room or examination hall, we are going to have a Google Classroom. Google Classroom. This Google Classroom will act as a virtual examination hall for you. And how would you gain entry to this virtual classroom? In the place of your hall ticket, you should have your pec.edu email ID. So that acts as a hall ticket for you for gaining entry into this virtual classroom. Once you gain entry into this virtual classroom, in the exact time of your examination, your question paper would be automatically delivered to you. And it is the job of the invigilator to do this particular thing for you, and it will be taken care of by the system. And in the exact examination date and time, when you log in into the virtual classroom, Google Classroom, you would have your question paper delivered in that exact time instant. And as you would complete your examination in your regular exams, you would complete the examinations using your answer scripts in your home. And then once you complete your examination, the invigilator in this case would not physically collect your answer scripts. Rather, you need to convert that particular answer script into a PDF file by scanning the answer scripts and converting them into a single PDF file and upload the same back to the same classroom. So this is the entire process in which this online examination is going to get completed. To compare one-to-one, in the place of your regular classroom, we have our Google Classroom. In the place of hall ticket, you are going to have your pec.edu email ID. in the place of original hard copy question papers circulated by your invigilator, you would have a soft copy of the question paper delivered right to your inbox. As you would complete your regular examinations, you are going to complete your examinations by writing in the white sheets instead of physically collecting the answer scripts. You yourself take the responsibility of converting that answer script into a single PDF file and then upload the same to the Google Classroom platform. So we will walk through this process one by one. I request you to make a note of your doubt in case if you have any, and make a note of that, and we will have a discussion. Myself and Professor Harish Kumar along with the controller of examination will be available for you by the end of the session, and you can post your questions in case if you have any. We will answer them and clear your doubts, and in case if you have any queries regarding the examinations, you can get it cleared by the end of the session. Right, let us move on. So as a first step, all of you must be having your peg.edu by this time. In case if you are not having that, I request you to contact to this email ID to Professor Selraj and get it done, because that is your hall ticket for gaining entry into the examination room. Step 1. Step 2, you have to gain entry into the Google Classroom using that peg.edu email ID. So to imitate that process, what I would do is I would let us do a small mock now. So what I would do, I would share a small Google form to all of you in the chat box now. So what you can do is you can just ping your email ID. If you have your peg.edu email ID, please do that. Okay, so I just copy all these things and then I have few incorrect responses, so those email IDs I would remove them. For the rest of the others, I'll just share you the meeting link, the classroom. I copy the invitation link. I have sent you the examination link, room link to all of you. Please check your email ID and then click that and then join the classroom, please. Go to your email ID, peg.edu email ID. In that you would have got a invitation link of the classroom. So just click that and then try to join the class. All of you have joined the class. I have 88 students as of now. Okay, let me start with the available students. All of you are able to see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, the thing is, the teacher should be able to see your photograph in the profile picture. So this is a perfectly valid profile picture. So if you see some of you have not updated your profile picture. So I request all of you to upload your profile picture of your pet.edu email with your recent photograph. That is one thing. Second, you don't in the place of photograph, don't put any other pictures like your favorite hero or somebody like that, or don't put any flower or cricketer. See, Mr. Ramanathan has put some cricketer's profile picture here. So those things are not allowed. So a clear visibility of your picture, because in a hall ticket you are supposed to paste your photograph, not somebody else. So that is the second thing that you would do. So all of you would upload your picture with your standard photograph here. So the third thing that you would do on the date of examination is, once you know your classroom, on the date of examination you would normally come to your classroom, and the teacher would post you the question paper exactly on the date and time of your examination. So as a teacher who is conducting this examination, I am creating you would get your question paper in the form of an assignment. Let us say on this particular day I am conducting mathematics exam. So please mute yourself on the other side. So I am conducting a mathematics exam. So I upload the mathematics question paper, say for example. Okay, so once I post that particular question paper, when I post that, I would normally post that with the deadline, like the time in which you are supposed to submit this particular question paper. So your or the submission time should be aware to you. So once you have the question paper, all of you please check whether you are able to see the question paper in the classroom.
Sir.
Right. So once you see the question paper, I have posted nothing in this question paper. This is a simple white sheet. So this is how your question paper would reach you. Once you receive your question paper, you can take your answer sheets and then start writing your examination, keeping in mind the deadline into consideration, because we are dealing completely the computer system here, which means it will keep track of each and every second of your submission. So it is necessary that you need to keep track of your time in a very cautious mode. So once you complete the assignment, it's time for you to submit the answer sheet. So what I do here is, I myself add as a student here. Let us say edc@pec.edu. So I invite myself. So I join here as a student on the other side. So this is the mock exam invite that I have received from the teacher. So I joined myself as a student. So I already got the question paper available. So I take the question paper, read the question paper, and then I start answering them one by one. Once I complete the examination, I scan all the answer scripts one by one and complete it in the form and convert it in the form of a single PDF file. And then I go to your work and then click add and then upload that particular file, upload that particular exam script and then submit it. I just submit some, I'm assuming that this is the answer script which I'm submitting. And then once you submit, the most important thing of all these things is you don't forget to click this turn in. So only when you press this turn in, uploading your answer script doesn't mean that it will automatically reach the concerned teacher. It will reach the concerned teacher only when you turn in. So click this turn in so that your answer script is submitted to the teacher. So once you turn in, on the other side, from the teacher's window, the teacher can actually see how many students have actually submitted the assignment. So once I submitted the answer scripts. So once I so I can see here that one person has already submitted the answer script. So from the teacher's menu, a teacher can actually monitor how many of you have actually submitted the answer script. And you all know very well that we have track of even a millisecond time of when exactly you have submitted this. So which means your submission time is very important. If you submit late or if you are not able to submit because of any other issue, you are accountable for that. So I'll give you a couple of minutes time. All of you submit some kind of a PDF file from your computing system and then submit it to this particular mock classroom and click turn in as a token of practice of how exactly you would do in a real time scenario. Please do that, or otherwise you can resend the question paper again as a form of practice. Please do it. All of you, please take some time and complete this process. A teacher can actually monitor how many students are yet to submit and how many of them are actually submitted the answer script on live mode here. You always get the phone number of the concerned teacher and then contact him in case if you face any difficulty at the time of before the examination or at the time of examination, in case if you face any technical discrepancy.
Hello.
Excuse me, sir. Hello.
Yes.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Sir, my name is Aradadi Kairaju, sir.
Yes.
So I didn't get any invitation link to my mail ID, sir. That means pec.edu mail.
Probably
Please,
you have typed it. I have sent only a fraction of the link. So you can see here that I have received 148 answer scripts so far, and 99 of them are yet to 92 of you are yet to submit. In case if you are not able to submit, the teacher would contact you and get it done. But make sure that you are submitting on time, because Google Classroom has the complete record of when exactly you are submitting the assignment. So you have no excuses here. So that is one thing that I wanted to assert here. So let us go back to the concept of taking this exam once again, and so The first step is you would get your peg.edu email ID. The second step is you would join the Google Classroom. So how would you get the Google Classroom? How would you join? For each exam,
Sir,
there is a separate Google Classroom.
sir, I'm Punpanamuru.
Yes.
I'm submitter. Submitter is below is unsubmitter. Is correct? I'm turning in submitter. His name is unsubmitter. Is correct?
Don't unsubmit it. If submit it, and then once you turn in, that is the final submission.
Okay, okay. I click the turn in.
Yes, once you click turn in, that is the final submission.
Okay, sir. It's showing the unsubmitted. Button is unsubmitted. Is correct, sir?
Don't do that. Don't do that. Once you submit it, turn in, that is the final submission. Don't do any unsubmission part from your side.
Okay, okay.
So for each exam, you would have one Google Classroom. In one Google Classroom, the teacher would send you the link. You would receive an email link. Once you click that email link, you can join the classroom straight away. That is how you join. So for each and every subject, you will have a separate invigilator. Each and every invigilator will send you a separate email link for each and every exam. Suppose if you are a student who is taking 4 arrear exam, for each of these 4 arrear exam, you would have separate email communication coming to you, and you would have 4 separate Google Classrooms for these 4 exams separately. So you have to keep track of that. You need to keep track of that. Third one, collecting the question paper. Collecting the question paper automatically happens when you get into the classroom. So once you log into the classroom, Google Classroom, on the exact date and time, your question paper would automatically deliver to you in the assignment section, and then you can take that question paper, start reading and start answering that. Once you start answering the examination, you would take your white sheet and the methodology of how exactly you should write the answers and where should you write the name and roll number, register number, all those details have been already shared to you. Accordingly, you complete the examination. And finally, once you complete the examination, convert that answer script in the form of a single PDF file. Writing the examination is only 50% of the job. Remaining 50% of the job is presenting your answer script to the examiner in a readable form so that he can easily read that and evaluate your answer sheet. If you are not able to submit the answer script in a readable form, or if it is getting corrupted for some reasons and if it is not in a readable state, then the whole process of submitting your answer script will be in a vain. So you have to take enough caution in this process of converting your answer script to PDF. Take enough caution here. So a session on how to convert this will be given by Professor Harish Kumar shortly, and I request all of you to listen that particular session and keep a note of that. Finally, you upload the answer script to the Google Classroom. Make sure that you turn in. Don't forget to turn in. So only when you turn in, your submission is officially accepted. This is very, 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 very important. Okay, so these are the entire process. So I just quickly revise. Get your peg.edu email ID. Join the Google Classroom by clicking the email link sent by the teacher. Collect the question paper on the date of examination and time. Complete your examination as per the instructions given by the controller of exams. Convert your answer script into a single PDF file. Upload the answer script in the Google Classroom. And last but not the least, don't forget to click the turn in.
Sir,
Some
I
tips
have
I
a doubt,
wanted
sir.
to give you. Please mute yourself. You can have the question and answer at the end of the session, please. Some tips Please ensure good internet connectivity. And then make sure that please mute yourself. Please mute yourself. Convert your answer scripts into a PDF with good clarity so that a teacher can very easily read and evaluate it. So these are the two important things that you have to keep into consideration. Some of the techniques that people follow when it comes to converting PDF files. If you have a tripod kind of mechanism at home, it is well and good. You can position your phone and position your answer script below that. Very often when you take a snapshot of your answer scripts, if your hands shake for some reasons, then you get a shady picture and the quality of the images won't be appropriate. So if you have small tripod at home, make use of that. Fix your mobile phone and then focus your mobile phone so that it covers the complete answer sheet without any corners getting truncated. Take a snapshot of that and then convert it into PDF. So if you have a tripod at home, it is very handy. If you are not having, you can simply construct one. It is not a very difficult thing. Being engineers, you must be innovative in coming up with these kind of solutions. It is very easy to construct one. More importantly, don't hold your phone in hand and shake it when you take pictures. Keep them in a stable condition and then take pictures so that you end up in getting a good quality picture of your answer script. If you don't have this kind of tripods, even otherwise it is possible to do. If you have books and notebooks, you can stack books and notebooks at one side. Similarly, on the other side, you can fix two scales between this, and you can position your camera in between your scales, and you can keep the answer script below that, and you can focus that and take the picture. So the thumb rule is don't keep the phone in your hand. Modern day mobile apps are capable of eliminating that noise, but still, if you have some kind of a mechanism, do that and then take perfect pictures and convert it. If you have any problem in getting your PEC email ID, please email to mail.admin@pec.edu and get your email ID well in advance so that you don't end up in having these kind of connectivity issues on the date of examination. So this is what I wanted to communicate with you. So I stop here. I will hand over the session to Professor Harish Kumar. Please reserve all your doubts so that we can address them at the end of this session. Thank you.
Professor Sundaramurthy, thanks for your elaborate demo session, which explains each and every final point of joining the classroom as well as uploading the answer scripts, the readable format. And also you have given added tips for how to ensure a good quality images by using some simple local made gadgets as well. Okay, thank you, sir. Thanks a lot. As you already told, we will reserve all the doubts clarification at the end of the session by the other resource person also. Now I invite Dr. Harish Kumar, Professor Physics of Pondicherry Engineering College, to deliver a session on how to improve the scan quality of the answer scripts to be uploaded by the students in the Google Classroom.
Thank you. So, good morning to all students who have gathered here to learn how to write online exam effectively. The job becomes simple and smooth. In the first session, Sundaramurthy sir has given a very nice hand presentation regarding how to join and how to write and how to upload. What I am going to tell you is very small thing. Actually, it looks very silly when looked at from certain distance. But when you come close and get into the affair in reality, small things look big. So we will talk about such small things which are actually very important when we have to work with. And this is all about scanning and bunching those new scanned images into a single PDF file with the clarity so that it can be read online on screen, as well as if need arises, we can print it with and decent quality, readable quality. So now first I start with what difficulties we have. We have been hearing to the difficulties students have or life. We never get to speak about the difficulties which we as teachers face while dealing with certain aspects. Now, as far as these online exams are concerned, we also have a lot of difficulties and hardships. Actually, these hardships stop with us. We never rant about these hardships with anybody. Ranting here, actually, the idea of speaking on these topics is to make you aware of how it is from our shoes. When you stand on our shoes, our point, how it looks like, and what we will feel it would be better if the others have done in a particular manner. Now, every teacher gets as much as 75 papers in this online exam. Limit the teachers get per head, and we evaluate by reading those papers. Generally, we don't print it, we read it using our computer and their monitors. And as you know, reading something on screen is difficult. Even though we can zoom and other things to reduce strains on our eyes, but do get strained. We are not used to reading long documents on the computer monitor. In case need arises, then papers may also be printed, and this will be not done frequently. Very rarely or very occasionally, papers may be printed. And most of us are getting old quite fast, and our eyes are not that good. They were not as good as they were 10 years ago. So that point should be always remembered. Right? We have many difficulties and ones. And with those important difficulties, what we expect and what is the basic necessity parents should fulfill in this. The answer should be legible. Whatever you write, answer paper should be readable. We must be able to read it. I think it will be better if the requirements for making the answer legible, the handwriting should be better. This is always a need. Even while you are
registration number underscore
yeah, can you hello? Can you please mute your
Students, can please mute yourself. Please mute yourself.
yeah, the first requirement of better handwriting is a requirement. Even while writing offline exam, we used to insist for thing. And since it is important, I am adding it. The next one is the and logical presentation of answers. As usual, like is also always a need. Whether it is offline or online, these two are needed. The one which is not needed very most now is the good scanning quality, because going to read the scanned images arranged in a PDF file on a computer monitor. Scan those images. Therefore, this humble request from our side to do that scanning job with some perfection. And for easy file handling, we request you to name your PDF file with the underscore and subject code. For example, if you have a register number of 18, I have chosen this register number very randomly. So if that person is there here, please don't mind. 18CS1045 underscore PH201. PH201 is a physics paper. Subject code for physics paper. One should name the PDF file with this. Why we need this is we will have some 75 files, 75 PDF files. If you have to pick some file out of these 75 files, then it will be easy for us to pinpoint that particular file. If is very random, then it is very difficult. We will not be able to open each and every file. That is a file which we need. Further requirement will be that the page should be numbered. Every page should be assigned. And while preparing the PDF file, they are supposed to be sequential. By sequentially arranged, what we mean? What we mean is, let us say we have the first title page, and then page number 1, and then page number 3, like this. So it should go on like this. What we don't need, some page numbering, some page numbering, or some pages arranged in title page, and then we have 1, then we have page number. Then suddenly, if some page number 6 comes, then after that page number 3 comes, then we will be in a real trouble. We'll be in trouble. So we will not be in a position for the proper page, which is supposed to be there at. So please don't do this. So don't do this. This is not needed. Okay. So sequential arrangement of papers is very important. Page should be having arranged in portrait mode. I will show some. Why I am making this particular request to you is, to the other slides I will show the picture. So every page should be in portrait mode. The orientation should be consistently portrait mode. Now, while checking the page number, number the pages. Now, if you look at the okay, 1 minute. If you look at the page numbering here in the slide, okay, able to highlight because some window is obstructing it. I have page 3 out of 13. So I have a total number of 13 slides, and this is the third slide among that. Similar page numbering pattern can be used, so that why we need these pages, total pages is, even in case if we lose a page, we will, when we open PDF file, we will certainly know how many. Total 21 pages, right? So every page be numbered like page 12 out of 23, 11 out of 23, if the total number is 23. Now every should be having some border. Generally, we don't have of giving borders on other sides other than the left side, from which side we start writing. We have the habit of giving only left side margin, but in this particular case, it will be better if the margin of say around 0.5 inch sides on all sides. So how it will be looking like? This is the page. Then border on all like this, so that this side, this side, this side, and this side, they all have a margin of 1 inch, and this will be the area where. Now, why this is needed? While scanning, even if by mistake, the basic demand will be, we don't want you to fold these corners, okay, all the four corners, no ears should appear. It is unavoidable. While scanning, these ears will have to be cropped, bending, making the scan quality low. Then if we leave then we can crop the page like this, inside this, little inside this. So please always leave borders. If possible, draw the border actually, border on all sides. And as a requirement, just to page is written by you in your handwriting, we require you to sign on all pages, and the instruction is already given, but for the sake of tell you where to sign, if this is the, let us say, and this is the page border. Now you may put the page register number here. You are supposed to put on every page. This is the place for register number. This is the place, this format, actually in this format. Now at the lower right corner in this, you are supposed to sign on all pages. So this is for the page number, and this is for the register number, and this is for the signature. So this is where you sign. So these three things should appear on all pages in a consistent manner. It is not like saying in one page and the side corner, and the other page you sign somewhere here. Okay, so the positioning of signature, page number should appear consistently in all pages. So this is the minimum requirement from teacher side. Now the important one, what I would like to highlight is the scanning quality. These are all the general requirements which the scanning quality is what I am after this course. Now first, what will be accepted as a good or decent image? Something like this. If you look at this image, we will have, you can see that the borders are okay, nothing is cut, well within its reach, so nothing is getting extra, borders are good. If you see the background is white, there is a background color, and the color of the handwriting, the fonts actually, orientation is somewhat good. The page is not rotated in any way. If, for example, you just check this line, this line looks very straight. That is a border drawn actually. Okay. So further we say that this is of scanning. Now the same expand, we will that the answers are in a readable form, we can read, but I will draw your attention on one particular pages, even though I said that fine, perfect, but if you focus here, you can, and in intermittent areas, if you focus on your attention here, like this. Now we will see those dots in the other page of these are the dots I am talking about, dots here, right? Now why these dots are appearing? When you give some thought over it, this sound back to back. That is important thing to note. Both sides of the paper are used. Definitely is not very thick. Whatever you write on the back side will affect the writing side. So these are nothing but the impressions of writing on the back side of this page. Now, how do we avoid this? There are only two things to be done to avoid this kind of impressions. You take an extra thick paper which will withstand the pressure we apply while putting something on it, so that nothing is passed on to the back side. Number two, if you want, you can use only of the paper. This will result in more number of A4 sheets getting used up. It will ensure the quality, good quality. This kind of disturbances will be easily avoided. Okay, so these two we will say are quite acceptable. We can live with this, and every teacher will be able while reading this kind of scanned images, and they will be able to do it without much. But what we don't images like this. If this image, the borders are even the background, the table, this is most possibly the table on which the paper is kept. The border is not cropped properly. The orientation of the page not cross. If you look at this border line, it starts from this end. As you progress further, it's cropped up on the other side, right hand side. The orientation of the page is not proper. The background of the page is dark. There is very less contrast between background color and the text. The student has used the black ink pen exam, that is a requirement as imposed by the regulations, but the background is all. Therefore, reading a paper like this will be difficult. And there is some diagram here of nowhere, and there is not enough given for the diagram. It was as if some rough work is being made. I don't know what is the relevance of this diagram here, but if you are drawing a diagram, please don't do this. Okay, leave enough page, space for the diagram. Don't draw it like a scribbling work or rough work. So this is one bad thing happening here. So borders are not cropped, background is not good, and you can see the written on the back side along this line. Okay, whatever is written on the back side is clearly visible. So the impressions are. This is the problem of writing on both sides of the paper. This will be better. It will be better if this is avoided by writing only on one side of the paper. Now, another similar page. So this we don't accept as a good scanned quality image. Another page where this is too much. In fact, the border is not cropped at all. Too much borders on outside the paper margin. So this should be, the camera is either too away, far away. This happens because the distance between paper and the camera is large, so that the surrounding area is also captured in the field of view. The angle at which the camera is held is also not 90 perpendicular. So to avoid all these things can be avoided by what the solution Subramurthy sir has. Making use of a tripod stand. Maybe tripod stand is not available with everyone. Okay, but we can do something like this. The last solution he suggested by using and placing scales in between and keeping the cell phone. I think that is a very excellent idea, which everyone can adopt. All of us have a lot of books. Maybe we don't use books for reading. At least for this purpose, books are useful. I am very happy. So that can be used so that this kind of slanted focusing can be avoided. The camera, the phone comes below the paper. The paper should be exactly below the camera. Then this kind of slanting will be not there. It cannot be seen. Another advantage there is to avoid the shaking of hand. Even when we breathe, when we may not notice generally, but when we are taking a photo, we should hold our breath for a particular moment because our breathing can induce some amount of shaking in the hand. So some, as suggested by Murthy sir, should certainly be adopted, okay, without giving any excuses that I don't have a tripod or I cannot make a second tripod which he has shown using PVC pipes. That is also very good. As being engineers, one should be really able to do such things. We should be good at handcrafting. Okay. The third one certainly possible for everyone. Please do adopt that third method if nothing else is possible. So take this as a good quality image. Now the same thing while expanded, a small area and magnified. This can be read with some difficulty, but imagine if 75 papers come like this in this quality and we have to read all the 75 papers. Paper may have 20 to 40 pages invariably. Reading that much with this kind of clarity and contrast is really tiresome. We have enough stamina to read something like this for prolonged periods. So this also will be discussed as not. And this is just another particular picture where contrast is, but the camera is focused is bad. Also, the cropping is all bad, and the distance camera and the paper is not perfect. We should choose a proper distance so that just is filling the field of view of camera, not the surrounding area like this, what we see here. Also not acceptable. Now, when we say this, let us assume should do avoid all those things I have mentioned so far, but still there is one important, the orientation of each page. Now, from where this kind of orientation comes, this orientation comes, we scan when we take the photo. These scanning apps have the habit of randomly changing the orientation of the photo. It happens sometimes. It does. The app does this change in orientation by itself. We should be careful to see that in each scan, the orientation is same. This orientation can be changed once you finish scanning. While final checking, if you see that some photo has a different orientation, it can be opened in that scanning app. Many scanning apps I have seen, there is a provision to change the orientation appropriately. So change the orientation consistently, make every page to lie in portrait mode. This is a portrait mode. What will happen if one page suddenly turns in landscape? We have to turn this page while reading using a PDF reader. Now, when we move from this page to what will happen is, this page will be in landscape. This we are turning, this will come to landscape. So, every now and then, we should keep changing the orientation of individual pages. That will be really difficult for us to do. In such cases, the job of doing evaluation becomes highly impossible. So, this also discarded as not a good quality image. So, after having given the examples of what we don't consider as good quality images, there is a big list here. Already it is taking more time. So, I would not like to discuss every reason listed here, but we will simply read out not enough borders and the paper is folded or crumpled. Okay, the folded or crumpled leading to gray areas. This you might have seen. Today I conducted a mock test and someone uploaded the image. The paper is already having lot of wrinkles as if somebody crushed it. And when we take the photograph of that using scanning app, the fold areas need to some orange, light orange color or gray color patches in the scanned document. So, therefore, kindly avoid any kind of folding at the corners of the paper, as well as inside. Keep the paper crispy. Let us not soil the paper by coffee. Now I know that you are writing this exam from your from the comfort of your home, where your parents will be watching you, and maybe mother will say, "Yeah, eat something or drink something. You are writing for 3 hours continuously. You may have been hungry, so drink some coffee or eat some bhaji or vada or something." Be very careful. Don't do both the jobs simultaneously. If you want to drink some coffee or eat some bhaji, just stop writing, eat or drink, then wash your hands well, dry up your hands, wipe your hands well, and then you start writing. Don't eat while writing. That may lead to the danger of coffee spilling over the paper, and the hand which you say bhaji or vada, and then the same hand without washing you hold the paper. You know what happens when oil is smeared on a paper. The paper becomes transparent. When you scan it, it produces an image. So please avoid coffee or oil stains. As Sundaramurthy said, this is another problem. You should not send many files. One file. I will highlight this. I'll for the sake of clarity, I will write it here. You should send only one file, PDF file. So you will have, if there are 30 pages, you will have 30 images for each. All these 30 images should be merged into one PDF file, and then this one PDF should be sent. What happens if you don't send one? If you send many PDF files, then in that case, supposed to take the first PDF file, only the first PDF file. First file will be taken. If it is sent within the due time and due date, all the other files will be ignored. Now, this may lead to one losing marks. So, to avoid losing marks, be careful. Send one PDF file, okay? And don't forget to check before sending that PDF file. Don't forget to, if all the pages, if there are 30 pages, all the 30 images are included in the file. Point 1. Point 2. If all pages are sequentially included, page number 1, 4, 5, 6, everything should be sequentially arranged. Only after checking all these things are done properly, then only you upload the PDF file. And try to avoid late submission, because submissions are liable to be rejected, and if they are rejected, then you can't do much about it. Don't forget page numbering, don't forget to draw the border, don't forget to put your signatures. There is a possibility that if you forget to put the page number, to put the border, the sign on say some page, you are putting all these things in all the pages, but all of a sudden in the middle somewhere one page you forget to sign. In such cases, that page may be from valuation. We may not include that single page for valuation, because there is no guarantee that it is written by you, unless we go for some forensic checking, like handwriting is same or not, etc. So don't forget these three things on all the pages. This is what I expect. And yes, these are some of the suggestions I would like to give to improve the quality. So far, I have discussed, I have shown you what decent quality as accepted paper, and what are bad scanned images which may have the possibility danger of getting rejected. And then I have also talked about what are the other mistakes that may creep in while writing this online exam. Some suggestions on how we can improve the quality of the exam answer paper. Among all these things, first requirement, many of us don't have scanning machines. Even scanning machine at my home, to rely on my smartphone. So that should be always remembered. Many of us use, when we use phones, there are certain apps to scan the into digital. While choosing a scanning app, we should be somewhat cautious. We should choose always the app. The best among them, I will say from my personal experience, is Camtasia. Unfortunately, it is banned due to the conflict between India and China. App is banned, so we don't have any suggestions to use it. There is no possibility of using Cam Scanner, but it finds, because it used to do good job in scanning the papers. Once this is discarded, the other scanners include the Microsoft Lens and the Dock Scanner. These three scanners I have used, and I do quite decent. All these scanners are available in the that in Google Play Store.
Play Store.
Okay. Chrome is taking this is an app called the Microsoft Office. Have used it from do the job. Many of the people also feel, there are so many people who have used it, they feel that it does a good job. So you use this Microsoft Office.
Hello, sir.
Sir, your audio is not
This is
clear, so
this app talking about Adobe Scan. This also does, you can pull, as you can see in this image, you can pull exactly, perfectly to the required amount, and the cropping should not be a problem. And in addition to this, these apps also have what is called the filters. We talk about those filters, and what is more important is, whichever app you choose, the requirement is you should practice scanning using that app. So please do some practice. Don't open the app only when it is needed. Practice scanning, okay, using that app. As we say generally, practice makes one perfect. Without waiting for examination date, you should practice. The next advice is, however careful we are, if there is no ample lighting, the images, so to avoid that, you better choose an area to scan the papers where there is good lighting. If there are tube lights or LED lights, switch on all those lights. If you switch on all those lights, ensure that no shadows are cast on the paper. The paper should not have any shadow falling on it. And while taking the photo, please ensure that your hand doesn't shake. In this case, if you use a tripod or the ideas as highlighted, officer, that will be very nice. So please avoid shaking and ensure proper cropping of the image. Keep same orientation and share as one single PDF file. These are the things which we are in, because despite several rants about what is a good quality image, we used to get in other exams scanned images of inferior quality. That is why these conditions are mentioned again. And while naming the file, please ensure that you write your register number, put an underscore, and then put the subject name. If the subject name is too long, please don't use full subject name.
No, sir, subject code, we will have that uniformity, sir. Subject code.
Yes. I think this is what creeped from my last presentation. Earlier I changed it. So please do use subject name. Please use subject code. This should be PH201. So this should be ignored. Right? So please ensure that all these things are duly and once we ensure that, we will just say that this arrear exam is for the benefit of all students, and all of you want to pass with this attempt. You don't want to take any more attempts at all these pending exams, and this can be possible if both you as well as we work. Okay, we are ready to work. We request you also to work so that the job is done. Let us make it happen. And I wish all of you all the best. Please follow all the regulations as highlighted by the exam wing and the COE's office. I wish you all the best. Now I think we can take questions. Sir, I have finished.
So, Professor Harish Kumar, before starting the questionnaire session, I would like to give some generic instructions. After
Yes,
that,
sir.
we
Yes,
will
sir.
entertain questions, sir.
Yes, sir. Sure, sir.
So, dear students, probably now you will appreciate that how much effort both the resource person have taken to educate you or familiarize you to do some of the requirements. Okay, in addition, from the Office of Controller of Examinations, I have some general instructions. Okay, as many people repeated, pick mail ID is a prerequisite for you to enter into the Google Classroom, right? Okay, make sure that you get it. If there is any problem like inactive or password forgotten, things like that, you contact Professor Selvaraju, our webmaster, and get the required help. And suppose if somebody has not got the Google invite, probably you may get in touch with your respective HOD to find out who is the concerned invigilator for the course in which you would like to appear for the arrears examination, and try to contact him and then get the invite and then join the Google Classroom. Of course, there is not much of time. All these things you will have to do it at a war footing speed. Then the next one is uploading of PDF file should be done in the Google Classroom within 15 minutes from the completion time of the examination. Suppose if your morning exam is conducted between 9:30 to 12:30, so you have to upload the morning test paper answer scripts by 12:45 at the maximum. So before uploading the answer scripts, ensure all the instructions given. And one more important thing is you yourself open the PDF file whatever you have created before uploading, because we may also have a problem of not the file opening, then the whole exercise will be into vain. So please make sure before uploading and giving a turn in command, you just make sure that it is opening at your end. Of course, with all the other instructions, scan quality, page number serially arranged everywhere, every pages you have signed, all such things. Make sure it opens before uploading. And the submission beyond the prescribed time limits, as I said, the 15 minutes time, and also through any other mode of submission like WhatsApp or email or courier, speed post, surface mail, nothing of that sort will be accepted. Only you have to upload your answer scripts through Google Classroom platform only, that too within the 15 minutes prescribed time limit. As such, the institute had taken all our efforts. Okay, we have displayed the instructions and the time schedule for the examination in the college website, and the IAS convener has sent mail to each and individual students to their mail IDs which are officially registered with IAS portal. Then the respective invigilator, he has sent an invite to the mail ID registered with the IAS portal individually for joining the Google Classroom. Just wait for us to complete it, then you can take up your questions. So we have given paper ads and we have telecasted this information in some of the cable TV channels as well. So as such, we have made all our efforts to reach you, despite some of the students who have not got the intimation or they have not bothered to respond, means then it is their lookout. We are very sorry to say that it is their lookout, and the papers which are scheduled and conducted in phase 1 of this arrear examination will not be repeated for whatsoever reason in this particular semester again. Okay, that is another thing. And one more last part of instruction I would like to give is, in addition to the Professor Sundaramurthy's instruction regarding the profile photo, you try to have your own photo, legible, readable or visible photo, instead of some actress or actor or cricketer or some celebrities. You have your photo. In addition to that, you also have the display name, which is similar to the name whatever you have registered for the examination. Somebody may have some nicknames. You don't try to give the nicknames and all. It should be exactly similar to the name whatever you have officially registered for the examination. So the display name as well as the profile photo should be of decent quality, and it should be synchronous with the information what you have given for registration. So I think I am complete. Maybe if my associate dean Dr. Jayanti or Dr. Charulata or Dr. Satyamurthy, if they would like to add anything, they are most welcome.
Hello.
No, Professor.
Good afternoon,
Okay, Professor.
Please go ahead.
Hello.
Go
Good
ahead, madam.
afternoon. Am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Much.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Good afternoon to everyone present here. First and foremost, I would like to thank both the speakers for giving an excellent session and the efforts what they have put for making this arrear exam one, right? I have some points. Excuse me. Kindly mute your mics. I have some more points to add up to what Professor AVR sir has told, Controller of Examination has told. First and foremost is the usual line from most of the students will be the internet connectivity and the gadgets required for uploading or downloading the answer scripts and downloading the question paper and all those things. So please make it as a point. Take all the necessary steps and arrangements to ensure that you have a laptop, desktop or any sort of gadget, and as well you also ensure that you have proper internet connection. So that is the responsibility all the students have to take up. Kindly ensure that you have all these the internet facility and the thing. Internet facility or not, it's not needed for the entire 3 hours duration. Only when you are going to download the paper and probably when you upload the answer scripts. At that point of time, if you have a good connectivity, that itself is sufficient. Okay, so this is the minimum requirement that is needed, and it is a mandatory requirement also. So this should not be stated as a reason for late submission or not submitting the paper through Google Classroom and sending the answer scripts later on through mail and all those things. Those things will not be entertained. It's already has been told by many number of speakers who have already spoken. The next point I would like to emphasize here is your question paper pattern is going to be the regular pattern. The duration is 3 hours plus 15 minutes extra is to be given for your scanning and other things. So for BTech, the part A, part B, part C, which you are very much aware, and for PG, it is going to be part A and part B. And we request again all of you to write the answers in the A4 sheets with a black ink. This is basically to facilitate good scanning. Then in all the pages, you are supposed to write 3 important points. You ensure this. One is the page number, as I've already insisted again and again. We are insisting this. The next one is the register number, and your signature has to be affixed in every page, top rightmost corner. This is a mandatory requirement. Otherwise, those papers will be discarded by the evaluators. So kindly make sure that you do this. And particularly in the first page, we want you to write the course, what is the subject code and the name of the subject, and register number and date, address of the examination place, where you probably write the city and the state. Then you must also, there is a small undertaking. All these things are specified in detailed instructions, final instructions, which is posted in the website. You don't have to copy all, note down everything. I'm just repeating those instructions once again, because it's written there and you can make use of it. A small undertaking that you have only written the answer scripts in your own handwriting. That is the undertaking you have to give. And below that, you have to affix your signature, and it should be endorsed by your parent or the guardian. So this is what we expect you to have in the first page. So your first page should have only this content, and you start writing only from the second page onwards. And the next thing that I would like to emphasize here is the mock test already you have taken up now. Dr. Sundaramurthy sir has already made you familiarized with it. And in spite of that, the individual faculty members, subject wise, they might send invites to you, and you have to attend a test. If they call for it, if they ask you to write a mock test, you have to do that also. Then very importantly, the scripts what you upload should have a file name in this format only. The format is your register number. Say for example, if it's mechanical engineering student belonging to 2015 batch, 15 ME 103. 103 is the number. Okay, so 15 ME 103 underscore, what is the subject code? Subject code is, say it is ME 123, then that should be there. So your complete file name will be 15 ME 103 underscore your subject code, which is ME 103.pdf. You must submit only as a PDF. Okay, so with this, I think this file naming is very, very important. Please stick on to this. I think that's all from my side, Professor.